What's going on, everybody? Back again with another video, and this time we are looking at the Century Arms AP5. Now, it's actually nice to see that these are back in the fold when it comes to the world of MP5 clones, and there are several reasons for that. But for those of you that are not familiar, Century Arms is the importer. However, these are built by a company called MKE in Turkey. They are a military licensed manufacturer that does produce MP5 clones, among other roller delayed firearms. They are licensed by HK, at least the last I checked they were. They are still making all of these on licensed HK manufacturing components and tooling. And that's what makes them special in the clone world. Because they're extremely high quality clones, if not the highest quality clone MP5 that you can buy. With that being said, let's talk about the price and where they start out. That's one of the biggest factors in terms of the real value that you get with these. So these right now finally have gone under the $2,000 mark. When Century started to import them, they were putting them out there for just under $2,500, and that was a little steep for a clone, considering that the SP5s made by HK are in full rotation right now, and they're not that much more expensive than the $2,500 price tag that Century was expecting to get for these. Now, I think they came to realize that pretty quickly, because these started to plummet back down to reality in terms of their pricing. And now they are at a more affordable price of between $1,700 to $2,000, typically well under the $2,000 mark though. These used to be imported by a company named Zenith, and I don't know how that transition came to be where Century Arms picked these up for import. However, that is the case, and obviously more people are familiar with the Century Arms import company, because they do import a lot of, AKs, and they just have a bigger brand name when it comes to, different clones and different types of platforms that they do import into the country and that they manufacture themselves. Pretty cool that that the AP5, and that's the other thing, is that this used to be called, when it was under Zenith, the Z5 RS, and now it's called simply the AP5, a little bit easier. A little bit closer to the MP5 name that it's trying to emulate. Just a technicality, but something that's cool. The high quality nature of these is really what makes them worth what they're currently going for, and perhaps, even closer to that $2,000, maybe even over $2,000 mark. When you look at things that, people will look at when they're looking for a proper MP5 clone or a high quality MP5 clone, they look at the welds. They look at, obviously certain components like the paddle release for the magazine. They look at other components like the lower, which this is not the lower that normally comes on the AP5. Neither is the handguard that comes with the AP5, or the end cap or the brace. A lot of this stuff is stuff that I put on here, so I'll go over that momentarily. But everything else in terms of the actual receiver of the pistol, both lower and the upper stamped receiver, they look at the welds, spot welds. They look at the welds of the actual rear diopter sight over here. They look at welds all over the place, and this is one of the cleanest, MP5 clones that I've ever seen. I've even looked at SP5s that don't have as clean of the weld marks here that I'm seeing on this Century Arms version of the AP5 here. So kudos to MKE, because they're doing it right. They are manufacturing these things down to a science at this point. It looks like they've been doing it for quite a while. They know what they're doing, and it's good to see, because like I said, it's a really beautiful rendition of the MP5. Very, very well made, very highly crafted. But let's get into some of the extras that you're seeing here. Now, this muzzle device right here, this actually came with the gun, so Century is actually putting these out with this little flash hider. Pretty cool. It actually does operate off of the tri-lug that is underneath. So the tri-lug adapter on the barrel The barrel, I believe, is threaded as well. We're going to take a look here in a second, but basically, in order to remove this, you just kind of slide this little lever down, and you have to kind of press it down, and at that point you are free to twist and hopefully get this thing off. All right, so as you can see, you've got both a threaded barrel, which is nice. So you do have the option of adding whatever type of threaded muzzle device, suppressor, or what have you. But more importantly, you still get the traditional tri-lug adapter, which is awesome. Obviously, the tri-lug adapter here, and you know what the problem is, that my flashlight's in the way, but not a big deal. So we'll put that on later. The fact that it comes with all this out of the box is kind of nice. What does not come out of the box is then right over here. So this is the Surefire handguard. It's not the 600. I believe this is the 300 version. So this is the shorter flashlight. I'll put the actual item number and everything in the description, just in case you are trying to get this exact layout on yours. But it does come with the on and off switch, which is nice, and they're very audible, obviously very tactile. But you also have the pressure pad that's on the opposite side here, and it's very sensitive, but it does have like a little bit of a guard over here, which is nice, so that you don't accidentally press it as much when you've got that firm grip on your handguard. Now, when you're fiddling with the pistol and you're trying to switch, hands, or if you're offhand, you might actually bump into this a lot. But when you actually have this in the normal position, when you're, just kind of C-clamping it or what have you, you have a hard time actually pressing this by accident, which is nice. Another thing that did not come with this pistol is the brace over here. So the brace, this is from B&T. This is their collapsible brace. It comes with this end cap over here, obviously, that you're going to have to be able to remove the old one that comes on here, pop in this new one, and it's just like all the B&T braces that they've got for the APCs. So you've got your little button that's right down here at the bottom. As soon as you actually press it, you are able to collapse it. And as you can see here, it collapses all the way in. And when you're pulling it out, you do not need to depress that button. All you got to do is just literally pull the brace out for, whatever length of pull is comfortable for you. As you can see, you've really got 4 different areas that you can stop at over here. This is the Gearhead Works tail hook Mod 1C. I put these on just about every one of my guns. You guys have seen them. The lower that I've got over here, this is an actual H&K lower. This is the Navy 3-position marked lower over here. So a little bit different from what you would get with the AP5. The AP5 will typically have a completely different, not only looking, but functioning lower over here, where the safety itself does not have any type of detent in the actual trigger module or anything like that. So it's a completely different way that the safety acts. It actually has some nubs that are actually etched into the housing over here, and the safety lever has like a little detent that actually fits in those little bumps as it kind of makes its way through your safe and fire and all that stuff. So I just wanted more of that traditional MP5 look, so I opted for this housing. I ended up getting a different trigger mechanism, obviously, that would allow for the use of a traditional ambi safety. This is the same type of safety that comes on the SP5 model. So again, I wanted more of that traditional SP5 look. Aside from that, even the top rail over here comes with the package, which is nice. So Century Arms does include this rail. It's not the lowest of profile rail. So if you are looking to do, if you're looking to put an optic on here that's going to co-witness with your very low mounted iron sights over here, you're gonna need a very low profile mount. B&T does have them. They do have different manufacturers that make them on hkparts.net. They're pricey. They're usually right around the $100 mark. But if you want to save that $100, you do get a rail out of the box when you purchase the AP5. So really cool. It is every bit an MP5 as you get with HK. This thing shoots like absolute silk. It's incredible. It's a tag driver. I mean, the thing feels like a BB gun when you're shooting it. It is incredible how smooth the recoil impulse is on the MP5. I've talked about it before when I showed you guys the APC9, the Pro version, the K version. They just, I mean, as nice as they shoot, nothing really in the modern day era of pistol caliber carbines in 9 or any other caliber really come close to how smooth this shoots. It just literally feels like there's no movement whatsoever. Follow-up shots are just effortless. You find yourself not really just hitting the bullseye when you're at the range. You're kind of picking around the bullseye just to make that hole grow wider and wider. It's that easy to hit what you're looking at on this pistol. It's incredible. The accuracy, the barrel, it's just an amazing, amazing firearm. That's another thing. So MKE's barrels are excellent. They are cold hammer forged. It's such a great package. And the only thing that was bothering me when these first came out was the price. And again, it's hard to justify, not spending the extra $500 to get yourself the HK version. Now at the time, even the HK SP5 was going for, between $3,500 to $4,000. So they were going for ridiculous prices. People were price gouging, but you can still at that time find one that was going to be around $3,300. Now you can find the SP5 right around $3K. This is where it should be at about $1,800. Well worth it for that amount. Probably underpriced at that amount. I definitely think these can sell for $2K. But I think with the abundance of SP5s that are currently on the market, I feel like until the supply of SP5 starts to come down, these are going to be pretty stable under that $2,000 mark. And that is awesome. That's an awesome deal. You are still getting a phenomenal firearm that shoots just as smooth and accurately as the actual SP5 or MP5. People do, obviously convert these into fully auto as well. You're able to do that. Again, this is a pistol that is built for the Turkish military. So it's not as if this is just for the civilian market and it's, not of the same quality that you would expect a military issued MP5 to be. This is definitely going to be up to par, if not better than, any type of standard issue pistol caliber carbine that you've ever seen. So obviously you hear the excitement in my voice. I love these things. I was, again, very excited to see them back in the market. The fact that they're coming back at an aggressive price now really should make them something to consider if you're looking at a 9mm anything right now that's not a just handgun. This is something to consider, and you will never be disappointed with one of these. Never. In terms of, being able to buy accessories and any type of modularity that you have with them, obviously you can see over here, everything that I've picked up here is meant for the SP5. So anything that is out there and available for the SP5 or for the majority of clones out there will be able to be used on this platform of the AP5. You've got plenty to choose from when it comes to triggers. You can do binaries. You can do different trigger housings. If you like the Navy markings, or if you like, some of the other markings that they've got out there, like Century provides you with out of the box. They've got it all. They've got, you can obviously buy different types of magazines, both clear, steel, extended 40-round magazines, standard 30, shorter magazines. They've got them all. They all fit on here. You've got handguards galore. You can do, anything from the Surefire handguards. You can do the Midwest Industry handguards, all these different M-Lock and Tri-Rails. B&T makes some really nice handguards for these. There's so much out there and available for this platform. And this is not one like the PTR, for example, where you have to worry about whether or not they're going to be compatible. If you're looking at, basically MP5 accessories, are they going to be compatible with my version? Yes, they will be compatible with this version, the AP5. They're not always compatible with some of the other clones, namely the PTRs. So just kind of keep that in mind. Just kind of walking around some other stuff with the gun. I'll show you. So obviously you see here on the right hand side, you get that shorter, safety over here, which is awesome. It doesn't dig into your knuckle or anything when you're shooting. Like I said, even if for whatever reason, if you got the extended on both sides, which you can do, they are available. It's not gonna, dig much into your knuckle, and the recoil impulse on these is so light that it's not gonna hurt you. But one thing I will say about these is that they have very stiff, very, very stiff safeties. So it's hard if you're working off the shorter lever over here to try to engage in whatever firing position you want. So that extended part that's on the left-hand side actually comes in very handy. So I told you that if you're fiddling with this thing, you'll accidentally hit the light, and that's exactly what I just did. There's not enough good things I could say about this thing, really. In terms of pros and cons, I cannot think of any cons. If they were still going for 2,500 or some ridiculous amount like that, I would say that, it begs the question of whether or not you're better off just putting it in the extra few hundred to get the HK version, the SP5. However, at, between 17, 18, maybe even 1,900 bucks, I have zero complaints, nothing to complain about, no cons that I can think of to list for you. It's all very, very good. I mean, maybe the only thing is just kind of with the roller delay system in general, they can be a little bit fidgety after you get through, a few thousand rounds. I've heard of even before that, some people complain that they, needed the rollers replaced or the springs replaced inside the bolt. Stuff like that can happen, but that's not an issue with this particular platform. It's just part of the design of the MP5 in general. So if you don't have a problem with that risk on any type of MP5 variant, whether it's the SP5 or other, then you're not going to have a problem with it on this platform either. It's very easy to clean and maintain. Obviously, you've got push pins that you're seeing over here. So basically to pop this thing open, all you got to do is pop this pin out, remove the end cap, pull out your recoil spring, pull out your bolt and carrier, and that's it. It's simple, simple, simple. So everything about this platform is very simple, definitely built for people to be able to maintain in the field with little tooling necessary in order to break it apart and to clean it, maintain it. So it's just such an awesome platform, and it's very impressive that even now, basically 60 years almost later, this thing is still, it's hard to beat with any modern day pistol caliber carbine, and I would still argue it's the best one of them. That argument is shared by many, and it's because, again, when it comes to reliability, when it comes to just the joy of shooting this thing, accuracy and just easy follow-up shots and availability of accessories and all kinds of stuff. When you check all those boxes, it is so hard to top this thing. It really is. So with that being said, guys, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please make sure to put them in the comment section. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe as always. Hit that notification bell to get back over here for the next video, which should be coming up soon. Until then, I will see you guys next time. Take care, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving and a Merry Christmas to everybody.